Hello, tribe. I'd like to do a really quick podcast episode on why I think that every bookkeeper, all bookkeepers, need support, and it's a testament to what we do in the program. Okay, so every podcast I bring to you is in order to help you thrive in practice. Okay, it's in order to help you do three things really. Build a thriving practice, delight your clients so that ultimately you can live your dream on your terms, okay? And today's podcast is no different. When I'm recording this podcast, I've just been in publishing a new private podcast for the program members, right? And there's a reason that these podcasts have to be private, yeah? They wouldn't make sense to you. And I'll explain that briefly in the podcast. I want to keep this one short and sweet. But I really want this to serve you in terms of what you need to know and do, to thrive in practice. So how about we get stuck in?
I'm Jeannie Savage, the Strategic Bookkeeper. I'm an award-winning entrepreneur, author, speaker, trainer and coach. After 13 years in practice and after scaling into a lifestyle business where I could choose my own adventure, I'm sharing my secrets to success, my secret sauce recipe on how to build a thriving practice, delight your clients and ultimately live your dream on your terms. This podcast is a companion to my book. In each weekly episode, I'll share strategies for scaling and success. This is your time to shine, to step up, to become a strategic bookkeeper and enjoy all the benefits it brings to you and your clients.
Okay, so let's jump in. So I probably have been thinking about recording this podcast for a little while, but today this is kind of like an in real life live with me as I explain why I want to make sure that you understand the impact and why you absolutely, as a bookkeeper in practice, need help and support, just like I did. However, I couldn't find much of it early on. I did buy into a well-known program early on, and it gave me some good systems and processes. But ultimately, as you may have heard me talk about, when I was building out the Strategic Bookkeeper project and also the program, and especially the program, I thought about back to the beginning of my journey 14 years ago, exactly what would have been ideal for me as a bookkeeper to have had someone come along and give me at the actual fee that I have structured the program at, right? So at the time of recording this program, that is $99 a week. So I thought about, okay, well, way back those first 5 fuck up years, if you've read my book, that's what I call them. Podcast interruption. Just to let you know, if you did not join the program when the doors open on August 1, and they opened for 14 days before my team and I rocked up live, it doesn't mean that you can't join in. The program is evergreen. Okay, so we have a way to bring you into the program seamlessly, beautifully, so that you can absolutely start working with me to build your thriving practice, delight your clients, and live your dream on your terms. If you are keen to know how that works, just drop us an email or ask in the private Facebook group. I'm always really grateful for that because then I can help the many as well as the one. Or simply use the link that will drop in the show notes or go to the website, pretty easy, and jump into the program because 2 things. Number 1, it comes with a money back guarantee, or let's say 3 things. Number 2, I do not get you to spend extra time working with me. This is about on the job. Yes, I've done other podcasts on that. And number 3, that money back guarantee, it kicks in after a year, but my expectation is to help you get the ROI really early, so that pays for the program. But yes, we're going to spend a year together. So back to the podcast. So if somebody had come along and presented me with the most beautiful suite of education assets, help me implement along the way, just given me the ideal team to support me and then surrounded me with people that allowed me to get the support that I needed, well, that would have been ideal, including in terms of assets. I thought, well, it would have been amazing if somebody who'd already been there, done that, and nailed all the digital assets around brand, sales, marketing systems had have just found a way to serve them up so that I could use them and that we could all leverage them for like a common purpose. Okay, so that's exactly what I created, like a crazy scientist. Some days I wonder how I did it myself. But in this podcast, so basically we have the private Facebook group, right? And I'm in there today with our members, and one of our members has asked me, or is asking the tribe, because we really asked the community for clarity around, so in terms of the product ladder we serve up, if that's foreign to you, you must read my book, okay? So, but in terms of product ladder, a really key productized service, right, product in our product ladder is a welcome line, which is a file health check, and we have a lot of education assets around that. So now in terms of implementation, this tribe member has said that he wants clarity around how we score the files, okay? Because we score files, there is a science and art to it. And the question alone is testament to the fact that the ongoing support that I provide my tribe members, right, is and was exactly what I knew bookkeepers needed. Yeah. And that is because we can learn what we need to learn. Yeah. So in those 5 years in practice for me, I was learning, and sometimes I was learning the wrong thing. Yeah. So I was learning things from alleged experts that didn't really translate in real life. So, but the more that I kept learning and falling over and failing, the more I kept testing, measuring and refining in order to get things right. And as you'll read in my book, there was a time when I just had to put the experts aside and build out my own website because nobody was able to actually achieve what I achieved when I built my own, okay? The reason I want to make it clear about how important it is for you to have someone mentoring and supporting you on what you learn is because in terms of this health check, right? So in the program Academy, I give everyone the keys to the kingdom. I give them really amazing structured education and assets. Once a week at the moment, we turn up. So I turn up, Joe turns up, Team HQ is there, working with the tribe for an hour and a half, implementing specific elements of front end and back end. That means win the work, do the work. Yeah. So we're providing tons of ongoing, like upfront and ongoing, how to get what you need to get, learn what you need to learn, etc. However, the question in there is testament to the fact that you need someone to keep helping you with all this stuff. Okay. Now, the other thing is that the question that this tribe member has asked has kind of been asked before, yeah? And actually, I've clarified it in various ways before in the implementers, etc. However, this tribe member needs to hear it in a different way. So I recently rolled out a private podcast for my members, and the reason I did that is because of this support element. So what happens is that like I said before, I give you all the things I give you, but then on a daily basis, on any given day, as I look at what comes through the Facebook group, and sometimes that means I'm looking and responding immediately, or I might be watching certain threads and I'm listening in the implementers and I'm getting a feel. Sometimes the tribe members say, "Are you a mind reader, Jeannie?" Right? But actually I'm listening, I'm watching, I'm reading between the lines in order to understand what the tribe needs. And then I serve up like this kind of additional content and support to help everyone relearn, with implementation. I call it the what's working, what's not working, and then I'm in there helping them to work the system, So make it all work. So as I was creating some of this content, sometimes it can fit into an existing module. Like I just did an in real life live with Joe and Jeannie as we did a proposal for a VIP who had new needs, right? So Joe and I jumped on the Zoom, we recorded the meeting, and I rolled out a new productized service and another, just gave an example of a scripting, and that went into the hourly to outcome billing standalone course in a section called Extras with Jeannie, because for me, that was like something that is going to serve members now, but also new members as a core part of what we do, okay? And actually that's available to purchase standalone. And so that is a testament to even that particular product getting updated, okay? And that particular product is also a foundation member bonus if you come into the program during the foundation member period, which is still happening right now. So with other content, I realized it's kind of, I call it in real life with Jeannie. And so I did the podcast for a few reasons. One reason, it's a really nice, quick and easy way I can share content that is absolutely going to give the tribe these wow aha moments, yeah? But this content is relevant to what they're learning. So there's no point me sharing it with the general public, because unless you are in the program learning all the things I teach you, it won't make sense, right? Because I'm referencing the education, the assets that we give you. Yeah. So you'd listen and think, but what's that? And what's that? And what's that? So the private podcast is for the members only because it's relevant to what the members are learning and using. Okay. And then it's not actually academy content. It's like content relevant to academy content. Yeah. The next thing is I love podcasts, right? So what happens is I publish this podcast in the academy in the back end, and then I was quite dazzled. Then with my tribe member hat on, I went in, clicked the link, and it opens in the iPhone podcast app. So even though it's private and not visible to anyone who doesn't have the links and access, it opens in the native podcast app. And I've seen the thread in the Facebook, and everyone said that they're using like Google Podcasts and everything else. So as I understand it, you can open it in various platforms, and the tribe and I were just kind of getting used to that beginning stage. But you may have heard me say before, everything I build out is for the busy multitasking mum and dad, yeah? Because that's me. And I really sympathize and empathize and have a passion for helping and working with busy multitasking parents all over the world. Like if you said to me, what do you do for a living? I'd say I help busy multitasking parents live their dream on their terms. Okay, so that is something else I love about the podcast. Now, an example of what I put in there and why it only makes sense to the tribe members is, so the first 6 podcasts I released all at once was what I wanted to do is, it's called a walk through the PC conversion process in real life. So what I did is, as a prospective client, a PC came through my bookkeeping practice, I in real life audio documented the detail, the nuances, like absolutely everything I was doing. I documented that word for word as I was going through this process with my tribe. Okay, so basically over 6 audios, they got exactly what was happening. And what I was able to do, and the reason it's relevant is because the conversion process that they're using is the same as mine. And that has many steps and assets involved. Yeah. And so it wouldn't make sense to anyone that wasn't in the program. Elements of it would, absolutely. There would be an 80% of it that would make sense, but 20% of it would get lost, and it's probably the 20% that makes 80% of the difference. So in that case, the first 6 podcasts were blow by blow what I was doing, okay? And then the next podcast was called In Real Life with Jeannie, Mind-Blowing Global Clients. And the next one was Following Up on Proposals and Other Stuff. And the very recent one is called Scoring Your Fresh Eyes File and Other Musings. So when I answered the question around scoring your fresh eyes, for example, and this is testament to why every bookkeeper around the world needs someone high level to support them. And look, I would love to be that person. My intention in this podcast is not actually to pitch myself on my program. It is to provide you with more information and education, right? So with the scoring the fresh eyes, the answer in the podcast is 10 minutes because yet again, I bring the answer into context, and I dive into the science and the art in order to give all the tribe members the aha moments they need to save time, to save money, to convert more clients, and to convert them without price as a priority, okay? So I said this would be short and sweet. I'm leaving it there. In terms of taking action, I guess as I record this podcast, I'm holding a bookkeeper in my mind. And in my mind, this is a she, so I'm holding her in my mind. And I'm feeling what she's feeling, and I'm seeing where she's at because I've been there and I've felt it, and I'm feeling that the feelings are around that kind of frustration and failure, when you know you're a really great bookkeeper, but you're starting to question that because you're not getting the results that you should be getting, Why are clients not kind of appreciating you as much as you thought they would when you do such a great job and you work so hard and you go the extra mile and you probably even do stuff for free, and yet what you find is the clients just like, they might be happy enough with what you're doing, but they're far from raving fans, right? They're far from delighted. And the next thing is that when our PCs come through, then you find that they're really price focused and you don't get it. Again, you're like, I thought this whole business venture, this journey would be different. Then another thing is just that you're not finding clients as quick as you thought you would. Maybe let's add a sprinkling of the old accountant disrespecting you. Like I have been there and I'm just holding you in my mind and you're wondering, what is the answer to this? Like, will it all just come good on its own because I'm really good at what I do? And the fact is that just being great at what you do is not enough. It's a bit like, I would liken it to you're speaking English and your clients are speaking Italian. And what you actually need to do is be fluent in Italian, and then everybody will understand and everybody will be happy. That's what I liken it to. But if you can just keep barking English at these Italian speaking people, well, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Okay. So if you are feeling that way, and if what you're experiencing is, that your business profitability and your business time wealth, so the whole income and lifestyle, if that piece is not adding up to what you thought it would or what you expected it would, I am going to suggest that you need support. Now, I would rather provide that to you than have you go away and find a web developer that doesn't deliver, or find a bookkeeper system that tells you they'll support you around sales and marketing, but really just gives you what you're biased into, which is standard operating procedures. I would love to have you in the tribe. This podcast is to, once again, give you that information around you absolutely need support. All the things that you don't know and that you're not your zone of genius, you need somebody to support you with those, okay? And to help you self-assess your need to join my program, or just your need to digest this information and think about how you are going to go about finding support, however that is, okay? My friends, that's a wrap. I'll see you in the next episode.
I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have a question you'd like answered on my podcast, please email me, hello@thestrategicbookkeeper.global. Did you know we have a private Facebook group called The Strategic Bookkeeper's Way? There you'll find bookkeepers just like you on the same journey where you can ask questions and get support. You can find more resources and how to work with me at thestrategicbookkeeper.global. All the links are in the show notes. Have a prosperous week and I'll see you in the next episode.